When Marvel Rivals first dropped back in December 2024, it felt different from every other hero shooter. We had some heroes who were a bit underwhelming like Storm or Black Widow, but overall there wasn't anyone completely busted or miles ahead of the rest. Most heroes were strong at something and bad at something. Fast forward to the recent seasons and yeah, that changed. We got some new heroes, some broken on release, some broken after release, and some who got buffed into war crimes. Dive camps got weaker, strategists got way stronger. Yes, I'm a strategist main, I can admit it. Quick disclaimer, I mostly play quick play. I touch rank sometimes, but even in quick play, if you have two functioning brain cells of game awareness, you'll notice something is very wrong. Just to double check, I asked some ranked player I know, and they all agreed with me. And second disclaimer, I'm trying to get this video out before Season 6 drops, probably impossible, so I have no idea if they're announcing balance changes or what role Deadpool ends up being. So if the patch note proved me wrong, that's not my fault. So today I'm gonna break down how I would balance the game, patch ideas, possible team-ups, removing existing team-ups that are either useless or completely illegal, and overall making things feel healthier. Part 1. Optimization. Maybe it's just me playing on console, but I haven't run into massive optimization problems. Yeah, sometimes there are frame drops, but nothing catastrophic. But for PC players and streamers, the game is heavy. I'm talking about performance issues, shader weight, general game size. Basically, it's a bit of a beast. My first plan, just lighten the shader load a bit. Easy win. If the first issue was quick to address, the second one, not so much. I wanted to talk about optimizing the game for ranked mode, and just to be clear, I don't think EOMM is the main problem. Sure, it's a little problematic, but it's also part of what makes hero shooters addictive. That's the genre, that's the vibe. Also, no role queuing needed. One of the best things about Marvel Rivals is its flexibility. Anyone can play what they want. However, when I play ranked, there is something that really bothers me, and that's duplicate bans. It actually makes no sense. If my team bans Daredevil and the enemy team also bans Daredevil, he stays banned and we don't get another ban round? That's just dumb. Here's what I will do instead. Let's say our team bans Invisible Woman and the other team also bans Invisible Woman too. She should stay banned, but both teams should get a reroll for their ban. And you might tell me, yeah, but people are gonna abuse this and end up with 7 or 8 total bans. Yeah, I know, but honestly that's basically how tournament works anyway, so not only that, but I think that players could benefit more by having like 7 or 8 bans than just 3 to 4 bans, because it makes the game more challenging and also improves the team composition and the general strategy of team compositions. 2. Buffs and nerfs. Buffs and nerfs are necessary. Some heroes are strong, some are broken, and some are just straight up garbage. I'm going to go in alphabetical order by mentioning only the heroes I would nerf or buff. And if you don't agree with me, that's totally fine, chill. The Warlock, I'm sorry, but he is the worst strategist in the game by a mile. His healing output is too weak to make him a second strategist, he has a decent damage and a bad team up, and if the enemy team has Rogue, congrats, you're basically just handed them free soul bond. That said, I love his damage output, his one-shot combo, his ult. And I also love Adam Warlock players, because I'm a Mantis main, and I won't ever forget the team up we had in Season 0, that was just peak. But he just can't keep up, he feels slow, but if you actually look at the stats, he's got the same speed as other strategists. So instead of messing with his base speed, I'll buff his passive. When he's regenerating from the cocoon, give him an out of combat movement speed of 7.5 meter at second, like Mantis' passive. This way he can rotate between fights and actually feel like a usable strategist. Angela is a blast to play. She's versatile, fun, and a solid vanguard. She can act as a kidnapper or an off-tank, which is awesome. That said, she needs a slight nerf. Not frustrating, just small. Specifically, I'd tweak movement speed, but only when she is in the charge state. They buffed her a season ago by 2, I'd lower it by 1, just enough so she's not broken, but also not useless. BP needs a buff, right now. He gets countered by CC constantly, making him basically unplayable. And you know what the funny thing is? I hated him in early seasons because dive comps were slightly stronger, but now that dive is weaker, he just falls apart against CC. And since he is both fun and skillful, here is my fix. I'll be talking about the spinning kick first, and I will make him gain the unstoppable effect during the attack, because at least now he can apply the mark without immediately getting CC'd to the ground by the thing or grabbed by Emma in diamond form. The second thing I'm going to rework is his passive. It's strong and interesting, but basically useless because he never gets the possibility to activate it. I'll make him unstoppable for 4 seconds when he activates it, so he can escape, he can finish combos, or just survive a little longer. Black Widow, such a shame. She's hard to use, mid-tier at best. Genuinely, she's been the worst hero of the game for like 4 to 5 seasons. My win rate with her is abysmal, but I keep playing her because she's fun and hard to master. But she needs a big buff, and that's how I do it. Increasing the primary fire rate to 0.9 at second, remove the cooldown between switching batons and sniper, so like automatically reload the sniper when switching to the batons. The ultimate now applies 10% of anti-heal to enemies, and you add the flying kick to the base skills. So you renew her kit, and you just buff her to make her valuable. I considered giving her a one-shot ultimate or just a one-shot, but honestly, she's fine without it. She just needs quality of life plus a little spice in her kit. This might be a hot take, but I think Daredevil is insanely strong. However, I don't think he actually needs a nerf, and I'm saying that as a strategist player myself. I think there are 2 possible ways to rework Daredevil. The first way will be to revamp his damage, but that will just push dive comp backwards, and dive finally became interesting thanks to Daredevil. The only thing I would personally adjust is something small. When you dash into someone who's marked and you kill them, the dash shouldn't reset. I think that Daredevil is viable even without that mechanic, but I don't know. Wow, Gambit is crazy. Like, he's extremely strong, but he's also extremely fun and somehow is actually fun to play against. I swear he might be the most entertaining strategist in the game, and I don't even play him, which brings me to my next point. I have no idea how his kit actually works, because my muscle memory refuses to pick him, so I genuinely love to hear from actual Gambit mains before I embarrass myself. I believe that his strength basically comes from the cleanse effect, but here's the problem. If you delete the cleanse effect, you basically Thanos nap his entire identity, so nerfing him is really tricky. But let's be real, Gambit needs something, because right now he's sitting at the top of the roster, playing poker with the one above all itself. I would probably lower his healing and damage a bit when he uses Bayou Bash, reduce the self-damage boost when he's in Spades form, and slightly tweak his ultimate. I'd tune down the movement speed, and also the healing over time, because his ult is insanely strong. I'm honestly scared about what the devs are going to do to him, because in Rivals, fun equals bad. I hate Hawkeye! If BP used to be my most hated to fight champ from season 0 to season 4, Hawkeye has absolutely stolen the crown. It's not even close. BP made me annoyed. Hawkeye makes me consider uninstalling. And look, when Hawkeye cracks me from across the map, I'm not even mad. Respect the aim, but the one-shots? Bro, like, explain this to me. Black Widow, an actual sniper, can't one-shot headshot people, but my man Clade with a hunting bow can just blink you out of existence? Now, if removing the headshot makes him garbage tier, fine, buff the rest of his kit, but remove the headshot. And the thing is, you nerf poke characters too hard, they become unplayable. You buff them, they become unstoppable. That brings me to Hela, one of those cases where the character is straight up busted since day one. I don't even think the devs nerfed her once, so fine, I'll do it myself then. Decrease the bullet quantity from 10 to 9, tweak down the passive damage to 75 and basic damage to 65. First of all, shout out to all the Hulk mains, absolute legends. They're fun, humble, loyal in a way that's honestly inspirational. Still remember when Hulk was getting permabanned because of the Namor team up and Hulk players were like, yeah, that's fair. But too much CC in the game. The kit is too basic, he is probably the worst tank in the game. So here's what I will do. First, give Hulk more leap distance. Let him actually reach and escape the fights. Second, when his gamma shield breaks, give him unstoppable for 4 seconds, so he doesn't immediately get CC'd into the Shadow Realm. And just let him be unstoppable when he's in ult, because let's be honest, he has the worst ultimate in the game, by a mile. Invisible Woman, like Invi's main won't admit it, but she's broken. You blink twice, you're in spawn, and you can't kill her. Now, I think the self-shield was necessary, it's a good self-defense tool, but when you combine it with her abilities and cooldowns, yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. So let's just decrease her values and numbers, I guess. Lower the slow rate of the shield so it's not quicksand. Reduce the healing per second to 45 at seconds so you can actually kill her. Increase Force Psionic cooldown from 8 to 12 seconds, so she can spam it like a slot machine. Loki definitely needs a nerf. With Gambit running around in his current state, Loki is just too strong. And don't even get me started on the team up. Now here's the funny part, I will just touch his regeneration. Drop it from 100 per second down to 80 per second. We bunked Gambit, Invis and Loki. So we kinda just addressed the whole triple support situation. Power crept the most powerful strategists in the game. Hot take, buff this guy. I know, he's annoying, bumps your support, but listen, he is squishy and also a tickle monster. He doesn't do any damage. He raises damage up by 10 and then I'm okay with that. Last 4 heroes of the nerfs and buffs. So, Star-Lord is fun. His entire gameplay though is wait for ult and pray. I'll just tune by tiny numbers his ultimate. Remove the one-shot headshot from the shotgun from the Punisher. Nerf by 10 damage the primary fire Winter Soldier, because Bucky has been the duelist goat since day 1. And the next thing is lower Logan's HP by 25. Nothing more, nothing less. Part 3. Team-ups. The core of Marvel Rivals. They are like a toss of a coin. On one hand there are some that are extremely strong, and on the other hand, not so much. There are some balanced team-ups, but one needs to go. So what I will do is take out 4 team-ups from the game, rework 4 team-ups for one reason or the other, and introduce 4 new team-ups. And the first I'm taking out is Duality Dance. Really don't need a double support team up, especially with Adam, who needs to be more viable, and this forces him into be playing with a strategist that doesn't help him. I'm also cutting out Burning Everbond because it's useless. It doesn't do anything really. Same reason for Stars Aligned, because again, useless. And the last one is Stark Protocol. I think that's a nice team up, but the composition of the team is abysmal. I mean, 2 flyers, it's every Hela and Hawkeye's wet dream. With that we addressed probably the worst team ups in the game, but now let's get to the reworks. Team ups were so busted that needs to be fixed, plus one that it's okay, but I'll probably do one better. First is Deep Wraths, where I'm cutting out Namor. And I thought that I should replace him with Captain America. But why I chose Cap? Namor has always been insane for the team-ups he has, and Hela has been insane since day 1. Now, having a poker and a dive tank together is interesting, and it works like this. When he slams on the enemies, he can give a zone of anti-heals that stays there until the slam is recharged. Vibrant Vitality, I'm taking out Loki. I'm sorry. Because the thing is, he gains too much from the team up. Having 2 healers encourages triple support, and I can take out both Mantis and Groot, who doesn't benefit as much as Loki does. So, my solution to this is simple. Instead of having 2 healers and having to pair them up together with Groot, I would involve a DPS in the team up. And I thought about Squirrel Girl. But let me explain why. Doreen has always been a bottom tier character and a lower tier merchant, so what I do is something that makes her stand a little bit more. When she leaps, and only when she leaps, she gains 10% of her base health back. She's not busted and she's more viable. Next, I'm gonna be talking about Rocket Network. With Penny Parker out, because her nests are a problem. And while the rocket mines on the revive beacon are even more of a problem, I think I'll cut out Penny to have the thing. Bring the thing for two reasons. First, there's a shortage of 2-2-2 comps with a second tank, and the thing can counter supports. Second of all, he's got 3 team-ups and only one is pseudo-decent. I'd make it so that if he leaps on the enemy, he gets a second leap that deals damage over time, and then if he leaps on a teammate, he gains a second leap that deals heals over time. The last team up I'm going to change is Primal Flame. I'll bring out Wolverine to bring in Human Torch. First, because Wolverine is gonna have a team up with Deadpool. Second, because Torch needs a good team up. When Torch ults, he can heal the teammates with his fire tornadoes. With that, let's get into the new team-ups. The first I'm gonna add is called Ultron's Virus, starring Ultron, Tony Parker, and Winter Soldier. Alright, so at first it seems like it's going to be scary, but this one is going to be centered around shield, not bonus health. That's important, because it means it doesn't stack on HP. And here is how it works. Penny gets a new nest, Bucky gets a buff off the hook. Both of these grant plus 200 shield health, but this is a key detail, that shield does not increase HP directly. So for example, if Penny has 400 HP, she stays at 400 HP and the nest adds 200 shield on top while she's inside. You leave the nest, that shield drains. Simple, effective, and it pushes actual positioning gameplay. And fellow Ultron mains like me, you're welcome. Now you can actually have a reason to protect Penny and heal them. Next team up is in theory really interesting. It's called Perfect Alteration and it features Adam Warlock, Iron Man and Spider-Man. And the reason is both 3 characters haven't had a good team up since season 1 and it's time to give them one who will make them more useful. 2 big effects here. First, Iron Man blasts heal teammates, giving him actual support value in extended fights. And Spidey gains a stance switch, turning his punches into like lifesteal light taps. Nothing crazy, no giga damage, but enough self-heal to keep Spider-Man in the fight. And Stark healing teammates? Yeah, that finally means someone will appreciate him beyond the press Q and pray playstyle. The third is Realm Rulers. The names I'm giving out are probably enough to give PTSD to someone. And those 2 names are Loki and Namor. Here's the thing. Loki gains bonus heal and that's okay, but Namor's little squids projectiles no longer bully enemies. Instead, they target allies and heal them. Plus, these heals are affected by Namor's L2, so when Namor is empowering the area, the healing just goes up. Now squids have an actual reason to exist, and they are not that obnoxious. Is it lore accurate? Is it funny? Hell yeah! And the last, well, it's Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, I don't know how Deadpool's role will be. I hope that he's a Vanguard, a Brawl Vanguard, but I think he is a DPS Brawl, like Mr. Fantastic or Blade. But who else could I have made a team up with? I thought about giving one to Spidey, but Wolverine just makes more sense. And the effect is simple and mean. Wolverine gains a second wind, which is basically another regeneration phase, uses half the numbers of his normal regen, but gives no resistance and no extra buff. It's just raw, filtered HP recovery, so it's not that broken. And with that, we're done. I thank you a lot for watching this video. If you liked it, then feel free to share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell to get notified whenever I upload a video, and I'll touch you in a while.